Mystery Science Theater 3000 Season 11 panel.
Woo!
So we're gonna watch Mystery Science.
You're going to sit here and riff me.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say stuff and you're going to make snarky comments back at me.
I'm up
Dude,
for that.
I'm up for
generally
that.
what the
I
show
always
was
make
about.
snarky comments.
Get my tape in here and we'll
Uh-oh.
get going. Well, my name's Marty Ketola. I am a local filmmaker producer. I've made 3 micro-budget movies, 2 of which would probably be very good fits for MST if they didn't have so much cursing in them. And I was also a host on public access television here in town for 25 years until they closed the station down last year. And so, let's see. So does everybody here know what Mystery Science Theater is?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it started back in 1988 on a UHF station, not public access. A lot of people think it was public access, but it started on a UHF station called KTMA 23 in Minneapolis. Then it got picked up by Comedy Central, which turned into the Comedy Channel, which turned into Comedy Central when it merged with Ha. Then later would end up on the Sci-Fi Channel. Well, anyways, they had a really big record-breaking Kickstarter last year, and they raised enough money to make season 11, which they are currently in the process of editing, and that will premiere on Netflix probably January, February of next year. 14 new episodes. Now we have a whole brand new cast for this one. Comedian Jonah Ray is going to be the new host, the new captive shot up into space. Mm-hmm. And he is being shot up into space by Kinga Forrester, played by, Felicia Day. You might know her from The Guild and many other things like that. Her new henchman will be played by Patton Oswalt, who is playing TV's son of TV's Frank. And Tom Servo and Crow T. Robot will be voiced by comedians Baron Vaughn and Hampton Yount, respectively. I've seen some of their stuff on YouTube, some of their stand-up. Seems like this could be a pretty good fit. Well, of course, only time will tell when we actually get to see the new episodes. Did any of you go see the Riff Tracks MST reunion a couple of months ago? They had a live event of it. Well, they brought back all the original 8 cast members. It was the first time we got to see Joel and Mike riff together on something. That was pretty interesting. But it was also the first time we got to see Jonah do some riffing. Him and Joel came out and they did a short together. And I think he did a pretty good job. So I'm kind of excited about it. Let's see. Now, back in the day, of course, everything would be released one episode once a week. And now with Netflix, they tend to just dump everything out all at once. Do you think they're going to do that with MST, or are they going to give us that one a week to savor it?
No, they're just going to...
You think they're just going to dump it all?
Yeah.
I think you're probably right about that. I'm so tempted to just sit there and watch them all at once, but at the same time, I want to just take in
You
one,
wanna do it
really
piecemeal,
absorb it.
but-
There's
you
an
know.
appreciation factor.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, people who love Mystery Science Theater are going to watch it, like, one
Yeah.
episode at a time.
Hopefully in the early hours of the morning.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's funny you say that because it was kind of designed in the beginning to look like a kid's show. It's going to be kids and puppets and early Saturday morning, but it's full of all these weird subversive jokes that's going right over the kids' heads. So when
And-
you watch it late at night, it feels more of that perfect late night show.
But
you know.
honestly, I think the first time that I watched it was...
It was early in the morning on Comedy
Like,
Central.
when we
They
were
would play
supposed
it
to
like
be
at
watching,
6 or 7
like-
o'clock.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be watching Digimon, but we were watching Mystery Science Theater.
True that.
Good for you.
So you knew more of the sci-fi era with the Mike Nelson, Bill Corbett, Kevin Murphy lineup.
Yeah.
Some of those are good. I'm more of a Comedy Central guy because I discovered it in '91 on a Saturday morning, 15 years old, eating cereal and flipping through the channels one day and went, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
And the very first host segment I saw was in this episode called Stranded in Space. And the robots are talking about trading cards from like Welcome Back Kotter and stuff. And that was the psychic lawn dart for me because I collect, when I was a little kid, I used to collect all the weird little trading cards. Not so much baseball, but like any movie or TV show. I'm like, they're talking directly to me. I've never heard or seen anything else make jokes about this specific topic. And then they go back into the theater and they're making comments and like, oh, on this road is where a bunch of Quincy episodes were shot. And I'm thinking, are they making a joke or are they really telling me that? I didn't realize what the concept of the show was. But then by the time I got to the end of it with, next week on Maddox, I started to get the joke. That's like, oh, they're making fun of the movie. What a very weird, unique program. Let's see. The biggest news lately is 2 weeks from now on Thanksgiving, Shout Factory will be doing its 4th annual Turkey Day Marathon, where they're going to be showing 6 episodes in a row, streaming them on YouTube, or if you have a Roku or an Xbox, you can watch it on your TV. It's all free. And this year, they had the people who donated to the Kickstarter vote for their favorite top 100 episodes, and they're going to show the top 6 episodes from that list. So if you're a hardcore Misty, you can probably guess that we're going to end up watching Space Mutiny again this year, because people seem to love that one. It has its own large, big, huge cult. It's like episodes like that and Manos, they've become so big, they're almost their own fandom now. It's kind of strange. So that'll be interesting, and that'll be
meta the meta
really
of the movie.
Yeah. And so the Turkey Day Marathon will be hosted by Joel again, and he's bringing Jonah in as well. I'm hoping they show us a trailer or something for the new season, so we get at least a little hint from that. Either way, that should be a fun time. I always enjoy that because all the other Misties around, I would say around the world, it's probably just the U.S. and Canada that can see it, but we all talk in the chat room while the movies are going, and Misties seem to be amongst the nicest fan group I've ever run into. I mean, you run into a couple of nasties here and there, some trolls.
Wasn't one of the first really huge internet flame wars?
Oh yeah,
born out of
the Joel versus Mike wars, which we're not supposed to talk about anymore. And occasionally you'll get somebody who'll, start to try to get those fires flamed again, but I love them both. I think they both did a great job, and every Joel episode is a Mike episode when you think about it, because he'd always pop up in the I can't remember what the thing is. The little window where people would
Picture
visit.
in a picture.
Yeah. And he'd always
picture.
either be playing the Amazing Colossal Man or Winky from Manhunt in Space or something like that. So Mike was always there. So I think it's kind of silly that people get all like, I like this or I like this. And it's like, well, everybody's got their different preferences. But I think they all bring something to it.
I don't think it's serious as being an ASU versus a U of A sort
Yeah,
of person.
exactly.
I don't think it's that serious.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't-
think people are taking sides because of the nominal factor of taking sides.
Exactly. Well, we did have a little bit of MST tragedy news today. Robert Vaughn died today. He was 83. You might know him as the star of Teenage Caveman, among many other better movies that he made in his life. But if you're not familiar with that one, tonight would be a good time to pop that one on. And also, I don't know how many conventions you all go to, but you'll walk around the dealer rooms, and I don't think they have that here, what I'm about to say anyway. I know they have a dealer room here, but I don't think they have a stand where somebody's selling bootleg DVDs, because you will see that at some cons.
Oh yeah.
And they will be selling full seasons of MST, or even pre-synced riff tracks episodes. Riff tracks being what Mike Nelson did on his own. No, they're not supposed to be. So if you see somebody selling them, don't buy them. They're poor quality. You'd be better off watching it on YouTube, the same quality. And the ad revenue on YouTube goes to Shout Factory that puts out the DVDs. And since they bought the rights to Mystery Science Theater last year,
Or you just watch Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, yeah. They take the money
feel
now
like that's the
from the
best way
sales
to
of the
go.
DVDs, and they spread it to all of the cast members now. So if you buy a DVD from Shout Factory, you're actually supporting all the people who made the show. So that's kind
And
of nice.
you would actually watch the people that watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
Could support the people who are actually supporting the show.
Exactly.
which seems better. I mean, there's only like 5 people here, 4 people.
No, it is.
Five
It is
people.
midnight.
Actually, don't count because I'm falling asleep. So
So, like,
That's
I
how
mean,
you
like, you
leave.
just watch the show and it wouldn't be a big deal. I think we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
You just watch the show
Mhm.
because you like to make fun of poor quality.
Exactly. It's fun.
I like to watch the show because they like to make fun of TV. So, like she said,
Yeah.
it's meta on meta.
Right on.
Yeah,
We
some-
just
some-
watch the show because we like to make fun of poor quality movies.
Some of my favorites are the failed TV
Storytime.
pilots
Oh,
that they have
oh, yeah.
riffed. So you talk about getting meta. My favorite of all time is Master Ninja. I know a lot of people don't like that one, but it just tickles me. I enjoy that one.
I love those moments when you're watching the movie and you think of a joke and then one of them
And they hit it?
makes that joke.
Mhm.
It's like, they're in my head.
Yep, you're right in sync.
I
That's always
actually
beautiful.
enjoy it because, like, did you know that there are panels that go on? Like, one starts at 3:45 this morning, and I have no idea who is up that early in the morning
And it's very
It's not
funny
me.
that you say that.
because I feel like it's gonna be me, and I'm gonna be like, "What am I doing?"
Because tonight at 3:45 a.m., for those of you
Yes.
watching this on YouTube later, this is all past. But the video room is showing Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks.
Exactly.
That movie
no,
was
I mean,
handled
we
by-
highlighted the schedule.
Have you seen the cinematic Titanic version of that?
I don't know.
See, they have riffed that movie, so I think it's very funny that that is actually being shown at the con tonight. Also, in the pamphlet, which I don't have with me, there was this one cartoon that somebody drew, and the marquee had all these ant movie titles on it. One of them was Phase 4. And I was like, hey, that's another one that they did.
Oh yeah,
Even though that's
My
actually a
favorites.
decent movie.
I remember when that came out.
I waited for over a decade for that to come out on disc.
Have you seen the alternate ending of it?
No.
It's on YouTube. It's really trippy, psychedelic, this strange alternate ending where they turn into ant people or something.
Dude,
It's
I'll have to-
nuts.
I'll have to check that out.
I guess it was too weird to tack on to the
Yep.
movie when it came out back in the day.
I think it's the Marabella room that shows all of the film.
And
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
great because they also have popcorn and coffee.
It's an
They
auditorium, yeah.
And
And
The
they're
theater.
showing Call Girl of Cthulhu at
3:45.
on Saturday.
Nice.
Well, technically, I guess Sunday.
Yeah, I guess-
I
that one
think
marked
it's,
out.
I think
What?
it's, and I didn't
Yeah.
realize what it was,
I'm
but
gonna drop it into
I
the-
think it's mostly tentacle porn.
I think it might be. We're
And
concerned
I'm-
about
No.
that.
I'm
nice at the time for
mildly
that.
upset about this.
Shouldn't that be in the anime room?
Right?
It's
You say
crossover.
that like a bad thing.
I don't know. I don't know what to think right now.
I believe there's at
I
least
haven't
one,
had enough sleep.
there's
and
at
I
least
don't think I will
one
have enough
tentacle
sleep.
porn riff in an MST episode. I think it's in Red Zone Cuba, where they go into a convenience store and the guy's like, oh, I got some hardcore hentai or tentacle hentai. And I was like, wow, even in 96, they were already, somebody on the writing staff was already aware of that, to where they could make a joke about it.
There's a card game. There's a deck card tabletop game where you can buy extension packs that are the hentai extension, and you battle people based
I know
on
that,
like
but don't
environment
worry.
and your character's
Not there
powers.
yet.
And one of them is the hentai extension, and you can play in a battlefield of exclusively tentacles.
Wow.
Have you ever played? It's
Are you talking about the haunted
Attack
house?
at House on the Hill.
I don't
Yes.
think there are any tentacles in that one though.
Best game ever.
Yeah, no tentacles. Though.
I always end up being the traitor, and I always end up killing everyone.
Well, good for you, Ashley.
It's the best game.
I haven't been able to play video games since Super Nintendo because they've gotten to the point where they make me motion sickness.
Oh,
This is a board game.
it's a
Oh, a board game, well, I'll be okay
Yeah.
then.
No,
but video
it's-
games, I can't do.
Yeah. No, it's called
It's kind of like an RPG
Betrayal.
type thing.
Betrayal at House
Yes.
on the Hill.
Oh, nice.
And you build like a mansion until someone triggers the haunting, and then one person becomes the betrayer. They try to kill everyone.
Sometimes with tentacles.
Mostly.
Wait, no, with tentacles.
Mostly.
Just demons and
Mostly.
zombies.
Mostly with demons or
You
zombies.
can imagine the
I
tentacle.
imagine there's an expansion pack with tentacles.
God, I hope so.
There is an expansion pack. It just came out.
Oh,
So Marty, getting back to
Sorry,
the
yeah.
panel.
Sorry, we got off topic.
It's nice to go on tangents.
Do you know, Netflix has picked up this new season. They're
Mhm.
going to continue then past.
That's hopefully the ideal or idea. I always get those two words mixed up. You know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully we will get 12 and 13 seasons beyond season 11. I think it's going to do very well, and that'll be enough to hopefully get them to renew. But there hasn't been an official word on season 12 and up or locked. But if you hear Joel talk about it, he sounds like Jonah's going to do 100 episodes, and they're going to swap out the cast and do another 100 episodes. He wants it to continue perpetually, like Saturday Night Live.
So the theory of funding is that Netflix will fund it, or
Yeah, that the fans.
not another Kickstarter?
Yeah, the fans just started the season 11 up, and then a network will get interested and then give them the money to keep it going, like any other show.
We don't know that it's going to be a really big deal. but
Yeah.
Convincing network people
Mhm.
of that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if people flock to this one or not.
So we're thinking based on Netflix that a network might pick it up again?
Well, Netflix would continue to fund further
Netflix
seasons.
produces-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, from early on, they were hoping to find some network that would pick up the season that got kickstarted, and then also continue on, provide the funding for future seasons.
Okay.
It's nice that we actually got 14 episodes funded rather than just 3, because at least you got a whole season so they could really work things out and develop it, and that should be enough to grab people's attention. While if they'd only done 3 episodes,
we
it might
could
not have
totally
been enough.
premiere an episode at Phoenix Comic-Con.
Oh, that's right. Premiering episodes at different conventions.
It could happen.
If you want to, we're coordinators at PCC.
Oh,
in
nice.
a sci-fi track.
Oh, sweet.
If you want to.
Yeah, because by the time next year, it'll already be going, and that would be a great time to do a follow-up.
Yeah, if you want to, just give us your card. We'll help you.
All right.
Because
I've been
we
up there a
like
few
it.
times, so
We do.
cool.
We've
'cause
been
I was just
watching it
thinking that.
since we were
Nice.
Too young to know what we were watching.
So last night I was even thinking that, like, wow, if this one goes well, and then next year, by the time Phoenix Comic-Con rolls around, the new season will be out, people will be interested, might be time to do another panel up there.
I mean,
That seems to be the way it is. Like the first season, people aren't sure if they want to dedicate themselves to it, but by the second season, people are like, I have the t-shirt. What are you talking about? I'm totally into it.
yeah.
Uh,
No, we have all the connections. If you have a card,
Nice.
we'll help you.
Some of the fans online say they want to know what the movies are before the episodes come out.
That's
I want to
lame.
walk
You don't
into
need to
it.
know what the
Yeah.
movie is.
It's
You
like
just
walking
have
into
to
a
enjoy
fun house,
the
and you don't know
commentary.
what's coming.
Right.
But if you know already, you can watch the movie, and I think that kind of detracts a
you
little
just-
bit.
you just-
that would not.
You need to be able to enjoy the commentary is all.
Mhm.
At least that's how I've enjoyed Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah,
since
not know what's
episode-
coming.
Yeah,
and
it's
just
pretty
be like,
random.
Yeah, it's like there's some weird people on the screen and you have some weird commentary about
it's
it.
like, where
And a
did they
weird
find
movie.
this thing?
Yeah.
This got made? This got put out? Where are these people?
Or, oh no, I thought I would never see that again. I was hoping that I would never see that again.
Occasionally, yeah, you'll see, like, oh, I rented this movie, or I've seen this before. That
Some of
happened to me
the,
with,
I'm
some
trying
of
to
the
think of the
monsters movies.
Deathstalker
that they
3, I'd
did.
actually
The first
rented
Mystery Science
before.
Theater. It was like they were aliens.
That's like every single, no, that's like
I
every
know,
other
I
one,
know.
Ashley.
Do you remember your first episodes?
Yes, it was monsters fighting in a lagoon.
No, they went to like this weird hotel
Oh,
and
that was for you then.
The one with the eyeball in the courtyard?
yes.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the movie. It's some Martian invasion or something like that.
Is it a Mike or a Joel?
Mike,
I don't know.
yeah.
Hmm.
My first one was a Mike, and there were two monsters fighting in the lagoon.
I mean,
and it
she's
was not like a Godzilla thing. It
She's-
was like a worse than Godzilla thing.
she's 2 years older than me, so
Oh,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
she had some
Really good
prior
memories.
experience where I was just kind of watching and she was leading the way.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna go with that.
2 whole years. Thank you, Ashley.
Do you remember your first?
Oh gosh, I don't
Just
know.
kind of just random, just caught it and then.
I actually would like
started,
catch bits and pieces because it came out early on Saturday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and my kids were watching TV, and I would see that they'd be flipping through the channels, and then they'd make me change the channel even after I get enthralled by the joke. Because it's like they actually would change channels because it was the same kind of shit that I would crap that I would pull on when I was watching their bad shows.
On Saturday.
Oh, so wait, you were commenting on their terrible shows, and then you found a show that commented on terrible movies, and you were like, oh no, let's actually watch this.
Yeah. You want me to shut up?
When I was little, I think I mostly watched Digimon, Pokemon. Something with a mon.
But before that,
No, Mystery Science Theater 3000 was a thing.
no it was, I agree.
We watched that.
Yeah, I remember actually some of the old Ultraman movies. I think appeared on MST3K. So
Well, I know they did Godzilla versus Megalon with Jet Jaguar.
yeah, I remember that one. That was awful as hell. Beyond awful.
And can't be released officially because Toho says no. They're not giving them the rights to put that one out, so hold on to your bootleg of that one. And Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. They're like, nope, no Godzilla. Can't make
Yeah.
fun of our giant lizards.
When I was-
Gamera.
When I
can
first
make
started
fun of
working
Gamera.
as a software developer, I would stay up and watch late night TV while I wrote my machine code in Spiral notebooks while watching the Late Show and all those movies. Whatever they could dig up, they would show.
It is funny that you say that because the brains have all the guys who write MST. They've always said that their fan group was mostly intellectuals.
Yeah.
And well-read people, and got a lot of the jokes and stuff. Like they'd get letters from little kids, but they'd also get letters from scientists at MIT and whatnot. So it does kind of run the
Pretty
gamut.
obscure.
Yeah.
God, I would love to read those letters from little kids then, because I work with children and they say just weird ass shit all the time.
Well, they're bringing the letters back for the new season. Those got eliminated in
Oh,
sci-fi
that's-
era.
that's great.
Because how are you going to
She
get letters when you're
teaches
traveling through
robotics for
space?
children.
I do, yeah, they do.
And she gets
Super
really
weird
cool as
things.
shit.
One of my favorite letters that I can remember that some kid wrote in was, I wish I could be watching your show, but I'm at school falling asleep, and all this is like terrible. And I'm like, oh man, that's like me, And they're like, well, maybe you should get into breakfast. But another one of my favorite letters was the one that said, hello, I would like to join your fan club. Thank you. Nothing else. And that's the exact letter that I wrote because I didn't realize that they were getting the letters. I thought it's going through. They work for some big TV station and the letters are being filtered through. I didn't know it was going right to them there in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. So apparently other people had the same thought. And when that letter got read, that really tickled me because it's just like, oh, I should have said something clever or done a drawing or something.
Later on, Adult Swim took on that letter writing thing where people could submit like wit-isms.
Yeah.
And those were often like, late night sort of things.
Oh, yeah, they call
Did you
them
watch
bumps.
Adult Swim?
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
bumps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of those are pretty weird.
And like it just like they didn't really actually make any sense.
No. But some of those letters that were written to the cast of MST3K, like they made very little sense, but they read them anyway. I liked that.
But they had good intention.
They did have good intentions.
They wanted to share the experience.
They said they got a lot of weird and interesting stuff in the mail over the years. Somebody sent them Christmas sweaters for everybody on staff,
That's
God, why did anybody
awesome.
wear those?
but they also got like an envelope full of toenail clippings.
Well, so did the Weasleys, and I feel like
Wow, which do you keep?
you should.
Like maybe
I
we
feel
should
like
keep
if
giving
you've
this
read Harry
address
Potter,
out.
you keep all of the Christmas sweaters.
Yeah, but if you do voodoo, you want to keep the toenail clippings.
Exactly.
True.
True that.
You never know
True
when
that.
you're gonna need
Never
like a
You need to do it.
toenail.
Yeah.
Somebody would send them cupcakes and they'd all eat them without even thinking, like, what was the kitchen that these were made in? Or
Were these made with peanut products? We don't know. No one's allergic to
We
peanuts
don't
here.
know. We don't know. For the record, I'm allergic to peanuts.
Well, no cupcakes randomly produced.
I'm allergic to all things.
For the record,
really.
I'm allergic to arsenic.
That's everyone,
I am
though,
too. That's
Yeah.
such a coincidence.
Right?
well, a common misconception about this show from people that don't watch it is that we hate these movies and we're just tearing them to shreds.
Which
But in
movie?
reality, I think we actually love these movies because
It's
why
like-
would we sit there and watch them over and over again?
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
more like old movie appreciation
Yeah.
society than old movie hating
Riffs.
society. Yeah.
I mean, I've gone down such a rabbit hole of like, oh, Ed Wood, and then Ed Wood worked with Tor Johnson, who worked with Coleman Francis, who worked with Ray Dennis Steckler. All these people knew each other. It's just, it kind of blows my mind that there was
How many
this
of
whole, you
those
know.
movies they riffed had Donald Pleasance in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Warrior of the Lost World and Puma Man. Pumaman. The Pumaman. Yeah, it's just so good. So good.
Oh, you made me laugh my gum out.
My work here is done.
So, any favorites? Any favorite episodes? Or any episodes that you just cannot, it's like, no, don't make me watch that one.
No, I liked all of that.
Sometimes I don't really want to watch Invasion of the Neptune Men because that one just sits on my brain and just crushes it. The last time I watched it, I was like, it's just like a blank wall. There's like nothing happening in this movie, and everything they throw at it, all the riffs are just sliding off of it. And then Crankor comes back from Prince of Space, and they're so glad to see Crankor. While it's a few
Yes.
episodes ago, they hated him.
I remember that.
Oh, what was that awful
I
movie with
feel
the
like I watched a lot of
Futurrian movie? Let me think now.
but
This Islander.
Oh, the movie, MST the movie.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
mostly the movie, yeah.
Which a lot of critics were like, why are you riffing a good movie? And they're
Yeah.
like, well, it's colorful. It's got a lot of goofy, fun stuff in it. We're just having
Actually,
fun
my
with
sister and I
It
belong
wasn't
to
that
a
good.
group
it. No,
that
it's cheesy.
It was a cheesy
that
movie beyond all.
frequently
Yeah, shut it down.
just like make fun of like B or C movies
Mm-hmm.
for fun.
Yeah. If
Since
you
this was a theatrical release,
If
they
you
had to
make
have
fun of a movie, I
No.
feel like
Yeah,
you're
why-
The really, really bad ones, they couldn't
Interesting.
get away with it.
What was
They
that
had
one
something
with the barbarian
slightly
guy?
above.
Exactly.
with the ferrets.
Now we won't even talk about Plan 9.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
never do Plan 9 because they thought it was too easy of a
Yeah.
target. And then Riff Tracks did it later, of course.
Yeah.
And they've done it like three or four times.
Oh, I watched it with my daughter one night, and we were riffing on it, and she had really never seen
Mhm.
any Mystery Science Theater. She came up with some really good jokes. I worked that kid good.
Mhm. And the people that say Plan 9 is the worst movie ever made,
No.
they've never seen Beast of Yucca Flats, obviously, or some of these.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's some really good sci-fi movies that they could do, like Beastmaster. I feel like that would be a really fun one.
Or even Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time.
Yes.
Actually,
Oh, yeah.
Blythe and I,
We've kind of like
sisters.
informally riffed that movie.
yeah, we've had movie nights where we've informally riffed really bad like B or C movies.
What's that movie with?
But Beastmaster 2 is one that we've done.
I've
We've
noticed that'll
just made
happen.
fun of at night.
You know, if you watch enough MST, you start to seek out just cheesy movies to watch on your
I
own.
feel like you could just watch so many movies by yourself and make fun of them.
But you figure out that ironic way of viewing
And
these
you don't
things.
need,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
If you have a
Funniest
good
things
sense
my
of
daughter
humor,
said were in
you-
reference to something I'd said earlier, an hour before.
Mhm.
It
you
reminds me
can,
of
call
that
you can
Dr.
make fun of
Strange
things and have a good sense of humor and just do it with almost anything.
What's that Sean Connery movie where he wears like basically a red speedo?
Oh,
Starts
God.
with a B.
Oh, it had a big
Um,
floating head in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zardos.
Zardos.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Reference that in Rick
Good
and Morty.
job.
Yes.
Oh, Rick and
Zardos.
Morty,
That
the
would've
writers
been
of
my
Rick and
favorite.
Morty,
Have you
writers on the new season. of
Have you
MST.
seen Zardos? Because
Dan
it's
Harmon.
important.
It's
He used to go
like-
off and start a new civilization.
Amongst many
Yes,
others.
it's like
They got a
such
big crew.
utopia.
Yeah.
And there's like
everyone's
this
with
40-minute
togas.
sequence with like cat appreciation.
Yes.
I appreciate cats all the time, but I feel like other people should too. And also keep off my lawn.
I introduced my daughter to the Flash Gordon movie
Ah,
as
Yes.
well, and she appreciated the campy corniness of it and what the director was trying to do.
Mhm.
But we also just ripped the hell out of that.
and then when you watch Ted, that makes so much more sense because half the movie is Flash Gordon jokes. It got to the point where I started an access show for the last 4 years that they were in existence, Sundays at 4 a.m., where we would just get those 50 movie packs that had 50 cheesy movies for like $10, and then we would just riff them ourselves. And you know,
That's what it's all about.
yeah, it
you
turned
know?
into where I became the movie host riffer for a while there. And of course, I can't put any of them on YouTube because one, not public domain, they'd get turned off right away, and two, if you're not watching this Sunday at 4 a.m., it's probably not going to be that funny to you because we were just coming off of stuff off the top of our head. But, you know, it's fun. There's going to be another Riff Tracks live event. I think it's December 1st. They're replaying their Christmas short special from about 10 years ago, and Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, their version of that. Double feature. Who's going to sit there for 3, almost 4 hours to watch both of those? I mean,
Are you from
ouch.
Tucson?
I've been here since '81, so I might as well be from. I'm originally from Virginia, though.
Okay.
So occasionally the accent will creep back in.
Yeah, I think 3 decades is enough to make anyone a native.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, all the
We're from-
molecules in your cells are
we're
replaced.
from-
Exactly.
Period.
It's funny, speaking about being in Tucson for so long, we're such a test market for things. I guess we had Comedy Central way before a lot of
Yeah.
the country did. And there I was 15 thinking, this is going to be as big as The Simpsons. Everybody watches this, don't they? And not realizing until years later, I go on the fan forums like Satellite News I post on all the time. Johnny Drama is my handle there because I'm the only Entourage fanatic who likes Mystery Science Theater, I guess. But people would write, I never got to see the show until it came on Sci-Fi Channel. We didn't have cable. And so that's this whole group that never even knew Joel existed. And here I was thinking, really? I thought everybody was watching those Turkey Day marathons with me in the early 90s, but it was just that small group of people that actually had Comedy Central. But nicely, with the advent of the internet and DVDs and everything else, everybody can see it at the, like that now.
I feel like that cable group must have extended a little bit into Phoenix because we were watching it in the early to mid 90s also. And like it was definitely something that came on only early in the mornings on the weekends, but it was there and it was like, I mean, it was just like a total break from everything that Comedy Central was doing at the time.
No, but we were extremely interested in that genre of thing.
That's true.
We made sure to record Mystery Science Theater.
That was a VHS. Huh?
Yeah, I was a
With-
big
with the
Rocky Horror
VHS
fan,
tape.
so
We
originally
were fans.
Originally,
but,
I was
mean,
like,
we were nerdy.
you can only riff Rocky Horror. You can't make up riffs for 200 movies. How's anybody going to remember all these? How wrong was I? How
you know.
wrong
I
was
mean, like, Rocky Horror is good and everything, but, like, you don't need that much creativity.
Yeah.
You just have to be able to say the same thing over and over again.
I used to go to that, 20 years ago, and I go now, and all my old comeback lines have all been replaced, and I don't know all the new generation's
And I
comeback
like it.
lines.
I'm not saying I don't, but Mystery Science Theater, the whole realm of creativity of things you can say to movie lines. Like, you can react to anything.
It really is a show to teach you how to be a comedy writer, too. Because
Yeah.
it's just a crash course in comedy writing as far as I'm concerned. I just watch it over and over in the background. It's just like, oh, they're just They're geniuses.
But with Rocky Horror, you could just pretty much say the same thing.
Yeah,
over and
once you
over
know the
again.
lines and the time warp and everything, it's just all about being in sync.
Everyone can time warp, but not
Coordination.
everyone can
You know,
say creative things about being in Pluto.
And not everyone
you know,
would get up and
aliens.
sway either
I don't know.
during Frank's last song.
Robbie the Robot.
Actually, those art house movie theaters, like the Valley Art, for example, in Tempe. I remember in the 80s, 70s going, they'd show weird movies.
Yeah, they would.
Eraserhead.
Oh, back in the midnight movies
I mean,
days.
I
yeah.
obviously wasn't
El
actually
Topo
there
and-
because
But we would,
I wasn't old enough.
Actually, after sometimes if they were making multiple passes, there'd be people would be riffing on them,
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the first time I saw Rocky Horror
and
Picture
Eraserhead was actually ridiculous.
was when I was really young because my mom showed it to me.
Oh, wow.
Because she was
Yes, you did.
I was like 10. It was really messed up. But my mom was one of those people who used to see it in the 80s with like in Tempe on
Spectrum
Mill
Mall?
Avenue.
What was the other?
not at
Spectrum.
Mill Avenue.
Oh,
on
okay.
Valley Art.
Tempe Arts.
Yeah,
Valley
okay.
Valley Art. She used to see it there. Did you know
I
that?
didn't know that.
So messed up.
When was that?
I don't know, in the 80s or some shit.
70s, 80s, probably.
And
Saw her.
That's and like it was like the 90s, and she showed me Rocky Horror Picture, and I was like 10. It was
I did that to my nephew. I showed him that when he was that age, too.
I
Need to go to see it for the first time, but just watch it on TV.
My children discovered it independently.
Yeah.
And
I think you have to experience it to know exactly what.
Yeah,
you're
I saw it in the
doing.
theater before it was available on VHS.
Generally, until the scene with the pool and the feathered boa, I think anyone could appreciate that movie. But after the scene with the pool and the feathered boas, you've really
You're
got it.
so
You've got to
wrong.
love it at that point.
You're just not even there anymore.
Thinking back, the first movie that I riffed in a theater was Love Potion number 9.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
gosh, I
It was
love
playing
that
at the
movie.
Dollar
Wasn't Sandra
Theater.
Bullock,
Yeah.
right?
And nobody knew
Right?
who
Am
she
I
was.
right?
Yeah. And it was playing at the Dollar Theater, and me and all my friends went in there. I don't know why we went in there. We walked out half hour into
For
it.
reasons.
But we
For
were
reasons.
just, the
It's
jokes were
fine.
flying, and the people were cracking up in the theater. They weren't mad at us at all. Another time was Phantom Menace, once that had hit the Dollar
oh
Theater.
my gosh, that's
Yeah.
We had seen it a couple times, so me and my friend Robert, we went and saw Blair Witch Project and laughed at that. And then we're like, let's go theater hop into Phantom Menace, And we just sat there and riffed that whole thing, and people were they were loving it. They weren't like, shut up, They were loving
Honestly,
it.
the acting in the Phantom Menace.
And they try to explain
Pretty terrible.
midichlorians.
Really?
I mean, like,
Sake.
the story isn't that bad, but the acting is horrible. Let's just admit it. Let's just admit that the acting was horrible.
That kid couldn't act like a rock if you pushed him out of a helicopter.
He had beautiful blonde hair.
And poor
Beautiful
Natalie
blonde
Portman
hair.
trying to act in that situation was just
Yep,
was
Mannequin
terrible.
Skywalker.
poor Natalie Portman.
You did a good deed that day, I feel
Thank
like.
you.
You made that movie pleasurable for
Made
someone.
it watchable.
We watched that movie when it came out in theaters
Ouch.
with our parents, and it was terrible. It
That
was-
being said, the pod racer game that goes along with that movie is super good and difficult.
And another game that will make me puke if I
It
stare at
will.
one.
The whole scene was written for the game.
Probably.
I don't know. I never watched any of
That was
The whole script was written around the
The pod racer
The
game
pod racer
is
was the 10
difficult.
pages George Lucas had written back in his day.
Yeah, the thing about going to the movies and just doing commentary in real time while you're watching the movie. I can remember going to the drive-ins in the 60s and the 70s, and just we'd sit out in front of somebody's car and drink beer, and sometimes had to start a bonfire even. watch some crappy ass movie. How many times I see the Blob? I don't remember how many times I see the Blob.
Even, Fire will make even The Blob be a better movie.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It will.
I do like the 1988 Blob, the remake. I like
We're
that
doing
one.
it outdoors. But yeah, and then the Dollar Theater. I remember going over to, actually, I worked over in Pennsylvania or Delaware, I can't remember, in the late 80s, and I went to the Dollar Theater there and saw some movie. I can't even remember what it was, actually, but what I remember was like the beer bottles into the seats and rolling down the aisle.
Oh, yeah.
And people just internally cackling about the movie. Actually, this could have been in the 90s. It might have been 7 for that.
That's really funny you say that because, at the Loft, they have these 12-hour Scream-O-Ramas a couple times a year. Well, for a while there, it was getting bad where people would think, I'm going to go in there and riff everything. And it's like, just shut up, you're not funny. And then they start to slowly fall asleep by around 3 a.m. And then you hear that bottle roll. You're like, wait for it, smash.
So is that when you chime in?
No, that's when I just laugh.
Okay. Because we actually have, what's that called? A quarter? We have a really big bottle of Fireball in our bag.
Oh, a handle.
Handle.
Not drinking it right now, though.
No, but we have it in our bag.
Well,
for
the floor's not
emergency
slanted in
situations.
here, so I
It's
think
not.
we'll be all right.
You'd have to, push it.
It's for emergency situations.
Exactly. Isn't it always?
Yes.
Always available for medicinal purposes if you need to, sterilize a wound. And also make it sticky.
Well, I feel like in most cases, Fireball would not help with the sterilization of a wound. I mean, there's so much sugar in it. I feel like it would really work.
Sugar can be used to disinfect wounds.
Not really.
Yeah, sort of.
No, I'm in nursing school.
Ashley's like, no.
Just don't expect it, it'll kill you.
That's not what they teach you in nursing school for the most part.
It only takes a tiny bit of ethanol to get things disrupted.
So in nursing school, they teach you no Fireball, or
They teach you less Fireball.
just to use less.
I don't know, man. You can apply it externally, you can apply it internally.
Yeah.
It gets to the wound. either way.
But not really.
Oh, okay,
guys.
we can use it for rocket fuel. Okay, so never mind.
But not really, you guys. But not really.
What if you set it on fire?
I mean, that's good times for sure, but not super
Like in
proactive
Revenge of the
as far
Nerds. Fireball.
as far as
Fireball.
sterilizing a wound or moving you to a sterile place if you get an injury.
My Fireball is +5 against armor class.
Only if you roll the dice.
That's right.
Your dice
Gotta
are
roll a
obviously
20
way
for
better
that
than
one.
mine.
Bloody open women.
Most of the dice I've been using lately are the ones where you roll 2 dice and there's only a 1 or 2.
Or a nothing.
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's in. Have you played House on Haunted Hill? Betrayal at House on the Hill?
No, but I've
No.
watched House on Haunted Hill.
No,
riff track.
Betrayal at House on the Hill. And you only have the option of 0, 1, or 2.
God damn those dice.
It's such a
Wow,
goddamn dice.
that sounds like just horrible fails every time. I mean,
It's
No,
almost
no.
every
Like you
time.
I
fall on
always
your own
kill
sword.
everyone. It's a win.
Good job, Ashley. For murder. Good job for murder.
Everybody needs a marketable skill.
Yeah.
that's right.
And the
Yes.
CIA is hiring.
Exactly. I'm also a nurse, but mostly I just kill people.
Okay, well, see, that's great. You know your supply side.
Let me just get you on video.
Not a good advert. Not a good advert.
I think it's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's got it on video already. This is going on YouTube.
I know how
Another
it is.
Just lean back out of the range of the camera.
Just tell everyone
Nurse-
she looks like Dolores Umbridge. It'll be fine.
That's actually how I designed my hair today. Dolores Umbridge. I feel like I like cats enough, and also my hair is cute enough.
See, you could do a great cosplay. You just come into the room and you just quietly set a little penguin figurine on a table.
Not
And
not a
position it
penguin.
just right.
I need happy frolicking kittens on a plate. That's how
I'm sorry.
Dolores
sorry.
Umbridge
Oh,
rolls.
yes. I'm thinking of the crazy woman in Misery.
No.
Oh, but you could pull that off too.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, we're gonna have to watch Misery. It'll be good. It's
I don't-
Stephen King. You'll love it.
I don't watch
The book is
scary.
better.
The book is better, but the
I'm really
movie
bad
has
with
that
scary.
is always
I'm really bad with
With the
scary
board.
things.
And it's probably good that the movie didn't have urine drinking.
Yeah.
Another movie that I feel like would have done well with MST3K.
Oh, Misery?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Oh.
Because of jokes.
Because of the scene with the board.
I feel like it could have gone even darker than the darkest moments in this movie.
There were a few Misery riffs in some of the episodes about, that cockadoodie. They didn't get out of the thing before it fell over the cliff or whatever. I think it was back in the Undersea Kingdom or Commando Cody or one of those.
Oh.
Wow. I'm gonna have to go home and watch some more. Well, let's see. In closing here, I'd like to say all the places that I frequent online to talk about MST. The main one being Satellite News, which is MST3Kinfo.com. They're the official one run by Sampo, whose real name is Chris Cornell. No, he's not the singer of Soundgarden. He just so happens to have the same name. The Forest Crow boards are interesting. I tend to lurk on those rather than post on them. There's also a really good podcast called The Misty Cast, where guys sit around and talk about MST. And Frank and Trace started a podcast a few weeks ago called Movie Sign with the Mads. They put one out every Monday, and they talk about everything from Citizen Kane to The Accountant, the movie that just came out a few weeks ago. And I just joined the MST Revival League on Facebook, and those are all the people that were involved in the Kickstarter, and they seem like a friendly group of people. Most of them are. Like I was saying earlier, you might find somebody who still is like, oh, Mike episode, grrr, but, we just kind of pat them on the head and go about our business.
Thank you for contributing to the dichotomy of our fandom.
Exactly. You got to have one person in there doing that. I mean, it's nice that we're going to have a new host, because now all the Joel and Mike people can join up together, and we can all collectively hate on Jonah together. Or love on him. One of the two. I think we're going to love him. He seems good. Yeah.
She's just crazy brilliant.
Yeah, she's a good choice. Oh, and it's also cool that Mary Jo Pehl, Bill Corbett, and Kevin Murphy are all going to do guest appearances in the new season as their characters, Brain Guy and Professor Bobo and Pearl. And so I think it's going to be this kind of passing the torch, which is nice, because originally none of the old school members said they were going to be involved, but I guess over time they decided, why not? Let's get involved. And Kevin Murphy's like, I'm going to put this stinky ape outfit on again. And Bill's like, I'm going to shave my head to play this doofus again for you guys. But, I'm glad they did it.
It's like when you have the nostalgia moments when you're like, I could totally watch Thundercats again. But then when you start watching it, you're like, I can't watch this.
Yeah. There's some movies that are best left in the past of your childhood.
Yeah.
Or like,
I can't think of any right
you
now.
could watch the Vegeta series of Dragon Ball Z,
But you can't.
Well,
Yeah.
there was this obscure movie from the early 80s from Canada called Super Fuzz, about this cop that got superpowers, but every time he saw the color red, the powers would go away. I thought this was the greatest movie ever at 8 years old, and I watched it again as an adult.
And
Dude,
now,
goggles
It's
with
so hard to
green-tinted
sit
lenses.
through.
yeah.
Ernest Borgnine or not, it was hard to sit through as an adult. What did I
tried
see as
to
a kid in this?
rewatch the Dragon Ball series as an adult, and I could not do it.
It's pretty much relegated to Saturday mornings.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
childhood
I feel
anime
like
was just Voltron.
you have to power up for most of the time, and it just looks like you're constipated.
Battle of the Planets or one.
Well,
That was the feeling I got watching it. Or when my kids were watching it.
It's hard to be constipated and take over planets at the same time.
well, I don't know.
Admittedly.
Maybe that's why the villains want to take over the planets.
Right. They're
it's
like,
such
I
a
need my
bad
privacy, alright?
It's like your planet has more fiber. We just need it.
I feel like they just
Put a lot
need
of
to eat.
water.
I feel like they just need to eat more vegetables. And if they're from a planet that is constituted primarily of vegetables, well, let's take it like the leader is named Vegeta, right?
It's vegetable.
They're all about the vegetables.
That was Toriyama's thing. Everything's named after food items.
That's
And
true.
if they're named after vegetables, they should know where to get their fiber from. And if they don't,
You would
they're just
think.
in the wrong place.
But that's the twist.
I'm sorry, that was out of place in this conversation.
Well, nothing really
I
is
don't
in
think
this
anything
conversation.
is out of place.
But if there's-
no limits on this one.
If there's
That's right.
anything I
Last
like in
panel of the
anime,
night.
it's Vegeta. And I'm really disappointed that he couldn't figure out fiber more quickly.
Well, with that, thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate it.
Yes.
As I said earlier, I'm a filmmaker, and I'm doing a little crowdsourcing to try to get my next project going. So here's some cards
Cool.
for you guys.
Take a card, take any card.
At the very least,
No,
you
for
can
me.
see what kind of crap I'm up to.
You went on the video.
All right.
Friend.
Frenzy.
And hopefully we'll see some of you all tomorrow. I got a couple of cons going on. Cons, panels, you know, those things we do where we sit at a desk. What do I got tomorrow? Writers and artists who live together and how they keep from killing each other.
Is that a panel you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you want to be an actor. Well, my first piece of advice, if you want to be an actor, be 5 feet tall or shorter.
Oh, I
Because
totally
most of them-
qualify as
After
Mrs.
you're on
Status.
point, you're like
Yes.
14.
Yes, I'm so short.
No, she's got a good career going as a psychotherapist.